The age is 785 in the world of Dragon Ball, and not a thing seems out of place in the lives of our Z fighters. Earth has returned to a period of peace and tranquility since the Tournament of Power, but as we all know, the legacies of many past foes that consistently disrupt this peace continue to live on in the multiverse. Switching gears to a different lane in Dragon Ball, I personally, as you guys can already guess I'm sure, would love if Dragon Ball GT was revisited, even if for a short while, with all of the focus recently being, the god powers. Don't get me wrong, I love Ultra Instinct Goku as much as everyone else, and the developments we've seen in Super over the past few months with not only him, but Vegeta as well have been astronomical to say the least, but I definitely haven't forgotten about Broly and everything he brought to the table as well before we even met Granola. And then there's Oob, a character teased at best in the main Dragon Ball timeline, but the reincarnation of Majin Buu himself is anything but lackluster. This is another reason I feel like GT, if redone, could really take the spotlight in the current day, as a lot of new Dragon Ball fans and viewers probably only recently found out about Oob, if their main source of, anime was Super. There's far more to Oob than Super has dove into, however, and while everything concerning Oob and exactly who and what he is an entire video in itself, today we get to witness both sides of the boy known as Oob. One, the innocent and peace-loving student of Goku. The other, a sadistic demon hell-bent on destruction and nothing more. This is a new installment and original fan manga by the creators of Dragon Ball Super Broly vs. Jiren, Jordan Lee and Monty Black. I know how much you guys loved their last work, and this time they're back at it again with another original piece titled Dragon Ball Super Oob vs. Majin Buu that's just recently released after the conclusion of the last manga. As the events of Dragon Ball Super come to an end, as we remember, this is the point where Oob became a topic of discussion even more. The Dragon Ball Super manga also teased the character of Oob as he was a deciding factor in the conclusion of the Moro fight. In a poor village held up by the very civilians that inhabit it, this is where Goku retrieves Oob, and knowing of his origins and true potential, Goku decides it best to take him with him to train and learn how to use that power that one day may be much more useful than they realize. The age is 785 on planet Earth, and this is when we see Goku, along with his granddaughter Pan, preparing to leave Oob's village as Goku promises to take good care of him, and then they're off. As they arrive at the lookout, this is Oob's first time witnessing something like this ever, as Goku goes on to explain to him that this is where he himself learned some of the most important lessons that he still holds dear to him to this day, with Oob understanding the purpose of this training slowly but surely. However, his journey with Goku has just begun and is about to take a sudden turn, much sooner than expected, as he looks to hone his skills with the other Z fighters now. If you guys are interested in checking out this new original fan manga for yourselves, the link to both Monty and Jordan's Twitter will be down below in the description box, so be sure to go check them out and show a ton of love for all of the work that they do. If you haven't already, be sure to have that notification bell turned on to never miss an upload as soon as they go live, and if you have been enjoying all of the anime content recently, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really does help out a ton. Don't forget to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content and news, guys. Without further ado, as Goku continues his explanation of all of this to Oob, he admits that one reason for all of this is that he needs a partner that isn't afraid of killing him, and he noticed that Oob always holds back when they fight. This is when Goku tells him that to remedy this, which is all a part of his plan, Oob is going to meet who he used to be, which stumps him for now, but it'll all become too clear soon enough. This is the room, Goku says, as he leads Oob into a strange doorway where time seems infinite and plentiful. This room, Goku explains, allows you to go back in time. It's technically an illusion, but it feels real. I noticed that when you get angry, your Latin power leaks out in spurts, which makes sense because you used to be one angry dude, Goku says to him. Remembering how fearsome Majin Buu was, Goku tells Oob that he and Pan are going to get a quick lesson from he and Mr. Popo, then they're going to meet his last reincarnation. If anyone can unlock your Latin potential, it's him, Goku says. Well, are you two ready? Popo asks. And this is the beginning of the kids' training arc as they strengthen their minds, body, and spirits for the coming challenges. As the final portion of their training draws near, Popo tells them that for this part, he'll need a single hair from them. Pan is tired and doesn't really want Popo pulling her hair out, however Goku reassures her that this part is specifically for Oob. As Mr. Popo shifts around and gets the ritual ready, Goku asks for a clone 2 of himself out of pure boredom really, as he exposes the final part of this training. Popo however tells him that at Goku's current level, making a clone of him seems far too dangerous, which I think we can all agree with. Goku begs and pleads for a clone equal to him in power just for the heck of it and wanting to get stronger. "You really never change, do you, Goku?" Popo says. "Very well. Yours will take a bit of time though." This is when Oob's clone is finally finished as he stands across from them silently. "If you can land a clean shot on the doll," Popo says to him, "it will cease to be and you will have completed your training." Oob readies himself as the clone does the same and charges at it with a full head of steam, only to be stopped in his tracks with a devastating punch to the face. This single punch is enough to finally set Oob off as he immediately rebounds and his power begins to grow uncontrollably. "There's that Latin power," Goku says as he watches Oob charge at his opponent again, this time powered up. Once again, however, even this anger isn't enough for him to defeat his opponent as the clone simply steps on his head and crushes him into the ground. "How quickly you forget your previous lessons," Popo says, looking on disappointed so far. "You must still your heart and mind. Be quick as lightning. Be like a stone," he says. "Clear your mind and control your emotional outbursts." This seems to calm Oob down as he channels his energy and emotions. As the clone charges again, Oob has entered a state of tranquility, and when he opens his eyes again, his entire demeanor is changed. Now sporting a new aura as well as the color of his eyes changing, insinuating his transformation, Oob now easily dodges all of the clone's attacks. He then goes on to land a kick so powerful that the clone's head comes clean off its shoulders as it disappears completely, with Oob successfully finishing his training. Popo and the others can barely believe what they've just seen as Oob's power is far greater than they had expected at first. It seems controlling his emotions and the power that comes from emotional outbursts has had an unexpected side effect, Mr. Popo says. He's tapped into more of his Latin power than ever before. "Wow, Oob, you did it," Goku says, running up to him. "You're pretty awesome. I think you're ready for the time room," with Popo agreeing that he should be just fine at this point. The moment has finally come for Oob to truly test his abilities after all of his training with Goku and Popo. However, the time chamber is a totally different beast. As they walk into the room, Goku tells Oob to not worry. "After what I just saw," Goku says, "I know you can do this. Just remember to control your emotions and clear your mind, and you'll be stronger than you could have ever been before." As Popo prepares the room, reality begins to distort for Oob, and before we know it, he's sent spiraling into another dimension in a different time, where the true battle is set to take place. As Oob arrives at his destination, the first thing we immediately see is Majin Buu pushing back Goku's Spirit Bomb in the climax of the Buu saga. "You fought hard all by yourself," Goku says as he begins his speech before destroying Buu. "I hope you get reincarnated as a good guy, so I can fight you again someday. I'll be training and waiting," he says, as he looks to finish this once and for all. However, this is when Oob plummets out of the sky straight into Goku, causing him to break focus momentarily. This gives Buu the chance he needs to reject the Spirit Bomb and send it back into the sky as everyone across the battlefield is shocked. "Wait a minute," Goku says, getting a good look at Oob now. "You seem kind of familiar." Before they can say anything further though, Majin Buu attacks again, barely missing Oob and sending Goku flying into a cliffside. Goku returns as a Super Saiyan 3, but things are looking increasingly bad for them, as he says that it seems like Buu may be getting even stronger now for some reason, as they go on to clash again. Back at the lookout, Goku has finally gotten his wish and prepares to fight his most exciting battle yet, as Popo has finished his clone. "You really outdid yourself, Popo," Goku says as he stands across from his clone now. As the battle begins, Goku launches a full power Kamehameha right from the start, but the clone isn't phased a bit. "Wow, he's just like I remembered," Goku says. "This is gonna be awesome." By the time I'm done fighting him, I may not even need Ultra Instinct. Goku is beyond excited to fight someone who is equal in strength to him with nothing to lose, as Popo warns him that he wanted an opponent that wasn't afraid to kill him, so here it is. Let's just hope you don't regret it, he says to Goku, who continues to try and get the upper hand on his clone. He's sent soaring into the sky from a single attack, however. Man, that thing is kinda scary, Goku says, getting increasingly creeped out from the silence and creepy mask on this guy. Can that thing really beat my grandpa Pan ass? Well, Popo starts, your grandfather wanted an opponent who wouldn't hold back. Goku is a bit hypocritical in that way because he more often than not pulls his punches out of fear of needlessly hurting his opponents. Here, however, that won't matter as his clone possesses the same abilities as him, so caution is a must. As Goku charges in once again for an attack, the doll easily deflects all of his attacks and lands a chop to the back of the neck that nearly causes Goku to black out as he falls to the ground. Stumbling back to his feet, Goku admits that he didn't think he'd need one of these so quickly, as he pulls out a sensu bean. As we cut back to the main battlefield, Goku has finally been caught by Majin Buu, and with no one else around who even compares in power, this seems to be it. As Buu prepares to finish Goku, however, a growing power begins to catch everyone's attention across the battlefield. Oob is beginning to go mad as he's forced to watch Goku be killed. However, his rage finally boils over as he relentlessly attacks Majin Buu, charging at him with blinding speed and landing a devastating hit on him. Not only did Oob land a devastating hit on Buu, the tremendous amount of power he's generating right now was enough to even injure the monster, as Vegeta can barely believe that a kid is doing this right now. Majin Buu has now been infinitely angered as his power explodes from rage at being caught off guard like that. Oob lands in front of Vegeta, this time delivering Goku and getting him out of harm's way for now, but the battle isn't over. Both Buu and Oob are overflowing with rage and power now as Buu charges his victims. The two clash back and forth with Oob showing beyond impressive power and skill, being able to match Kid Buu blow for blow so far, but something still isn't right here. Vegeta, Goku stutters. Is it me or is Buu getting even stronger? Man, that kid is really amazing, he says as he watches Oob go toe to toe with Buu. And he even called me master. This is when it seems like Goku may have been right as Buu finally lands a hit on Oob, but Oob seems unfazed as his anger seems to have taken over and risen him to new heights. Oob hits Buu with such a ferocious headbutt that his head is implanted into the ground as Goku and Vegeta can barely get a grasp on what's happening. The angrier they get, Vegeta says, the more powerful they both become. That kid, Goku says, he's copying Buu and learning from him. He's pretty awesome. He seems really comfortable with those moves too, but he seems very unexperienced. His heart isn't in it yet. He's afraid to take Buu out. Oob is beginning to be fatigued now as he and Buu continue their back and forth. However, this time Buu is the one to shove his face into the ground as they continue this tit for tat. Hey kid, Goku calls out to Oob. I know how you feel. I know you want to see the good in everyone, and I know you want to improve everyone and everything. A strong opponent who's a good sport and a good person is a lot better, huh? I gave the little bit of good that was there a chance, and he's here now, Goku says, referring to the good version of Buu. This is when Oob remembers the words Goku told him before he arrived here as well. To free his mind and his heart, and don't think too much about it. To balance what's good for him and his opponent with the dangers of the fight, and he'll be fine. Your guilt and anger will be under control. If I had the power, Goku says, I would want to save even that Buu, but I don't have it. That little guy is pure evil. You need to end this. Another life is his only hope. We gave him a chance. That's all you can do now. Oob spirals into an infinite coil of rage and power as he dwells on the words his master spoke and the task ahead of him that requires him to be in complete control and not hold back. Oob's power begins to come to a new breaking point as his body begins to tremble. Master, he says, even when I was an unchangeable monster, you believed I could be better, could have better. You want me to cast aside my anger, cast aside the monster I once was, and As Buu, Vegeta, and Goku watch with their very eyes, Buu's transformation finally breaks the surface as he changes once and for all.